my gosh. Ugh. We are going to talk all about getting social on social media. Getting social on social media. So we have social media, right? Yes, we do. I will tell you guys, I am busy. And I know that you guys are busy too, right? You've got a lot going on. And I know that when I've had conversations in the past with people who are thinking about joining Scentsy or doing something like this or whatever, even outside of Scentsy, they're like, but Jacqui, I don't have time to spend all the time online. And here's the thing, neither do I, nor do I like to. I don't like to be online all of the time. I like to not be online a lot of the time. But with that being said, right, a lot of my business still runs through social media. That's where I'm getting customers. That's where I'm connecting with customers. That's where I'm connecting with with future team members, or all the things, sponsoring, you name it. It's part of our business. And I mean, like it or not, the world that we live in, right, is social media. It just is. So even if you aren't necessarily on Facebook, which y'all know how I feel about the book of faces, I think that you really need to have a lot of different, not a lot of different things, but different viewpoints rather, when it comes to your business. So here's what I mean by that. Not putting all of your eggs in one basket. For example, like all your eggs in social media. I can't even count how many times I have talked to new consultants who are like, hey, I'm posting on Facebook and nothing's happening. I don't understand. How come nobody wants to buy anything? Okay, here's the thing, right? We can't just post and pray. Maybe some of you have heard that, right? Post and pray. We can't just put it out there and then hope that something's going to happen to it, that the people who want to buy are going to magically see what I'm posting on social media. I wish that was a thing. It's not a thing. Maybe sometimes it is, but let's be honest, it's really not a thing. So we have to be very intentional when we're on social media, right? This even goes, like I said, outside of Scentsy. Take Scentsy out of it, right? Being intentional with your time on social media. I like to give my husband a hard time because he watches a lot of like Facebook videos. He doesn't like TikTok. He doesn't do the TikTok. I like TikTok. And yeah, that's a really great way for me to like decompress, right? It's just to sit there and scroll some TikToks. But I have been guilty of, and probably will be guilty of again, probably later this week even, of all of a sudden being like, whoa, I've been sitting here scrolling for like ever, right? Forever. I don't want to be attached to my phone. You don't want to be attached to your phone, but we still want to be able to have a good social media presence, right? So being intentional with our time is going to look something like scheduling posts, okay? You can do this on Instagram. You do not need a third-party app or a special thing or a blah, blah, blah. You can schedule posts on Instagram pretty much the same way that you do it, a little different, right? But pretty much the same way that you kind of do on Facebook, right? So you can go onto Instagram, you can do your post, you can write your caption as normal, and then there's a button that says schedule, or actually I think if you go to settings, it's under advanced settings, and you can actually schedule it out, right? I do that a lot with the reels that I do on Instagram. And here's why that's important. Reels on Instagram and on Facebook, the same, because they're kind of the same. Well, not kind of, they are. They're under the same umbrella, right? So it's the same platform, the Meta platform. They like to really push out those reels because for social media, that's really being social, right? People engage more with those reels. They can either watch them for entertainment, for educational, for how did somebody do that, right? So all the different things, all the different reasons. And it's a really great way for us as digital marketers in the space that we're in, right, to be able to really share pieces of our business. And so if you were to get on Instagram right now, I guarantee you that you will come across some Scentsy people, and maybe you'll see some reels of people making samples. Maybe you'll see reels of people doing an unboxing. Maybe you'll see reels of changing the wax or cleaning their diffuser, whatever it is, right? All of these things. I want you guys to kind of have a handle on these simple, basic things that we, as Scentsy lovers, Scentsy consultants, maybe you kind of think, oh, they don't really want to see me changing my wax. They don't really want to know how to put my oil in the diffuser. Here's the thing. People do. They do want to see how you do it, right? I have changed my wax millions of times while being a Scentsy consultant, okay? And every single time that I share a post or a reel, specifically a reel, about changing my wax, oh my goodness, my messages blow up. My messages blow up, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know, does that one smell good? Or I saw you were mixing scents. What scents are you mixing? Or I didn't catch it, I didn't see it, whatever. They can be from consultants, they can be from people who are friends or just acquaintances on social media, whatever. But I'm telling you guys, when you are sharing bits and pieces of what you're doing in Scentsy with things like that, you're really going to have great success. And that is part of being social on social media. Because again, people want to see it. It might be, to us, like I said, it might seem inconsequential. Did I say that word right? It might seem like a really small thing, right? Like, nobody's going to care if I post this. People care. People want to see it. They want to see it. They want to know, what are you warming in your house? What warmers do you have, right? We can talk about every single warmer in the catalog, right? We can do a party. We can go do a Facebook Live. We can go through all of the products that we have. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to network marketing and social media marketing, people want to see what you're doing in your home, in your space, at your work, whatever, right? In your car. They want to know, how are you doing it? So if you're not really sharing a whole lot of what you do and what it looks like in your home, then this is your sign to start doing so, okay? A lot of times I will do a reel, like I said, about changing my wax. Sometimes it can be just putting a new scent circle in my car, something literally as simple as that. It doesn't have to be this huge thought out process, right? So I try when I'm doing these things to take a short video, and then I just save it to my phone. And then later, usually on the weekends is when I will do a lot of that, right? Is I will sit down and I'll like go through my phone, I'll pull up the Photos app right on my phone, and I'll scroll through the videos and I'll see, okay, what all did I kind of take a video of this week? Or if I haven't taken a video, I'm like, okay, what can I do? Should I change the wax? Should I use the counter clean in the bathroom today, right? Like what should I do that I can take a video of and show how I'm utilizing the product? This is what people want to see. You don't have to speak during it, but you can, right? Some people like to do that little bit of a voiceover. This is how I'm doing this, right? Or these are the waxes I love so much, whatever. But you don't even have to do that. You can just set it to music. You can be on the camera or off the camera. The majority of my reels, a lot of times, are not even of me. There is me doing something, right? So those are really great ways. But what we have to remember is when we are doing those types of things, we also have to be social on the social media part of it, right? Because when people are commenting, when people are messaging you or have questions or this and that, we need to be responding back, right? Not only because that is, I think, just a good habit to be in, but it also shows your customers and the people who are following you that you're posting content because you want to share content, right? That you have something to share, that you want to engage with them. And when we're on social media, that's really what we're going for. right? At the end of the day, that's kind of the whole thing of social media, is being able to connect with other people. So I can create these, I can save these short little videos, short little reels, right? And then on the weekends when I do have time, or if it's in the evenings, whatever it looks like for you and your schedule, that's when you can sit down and do it. And so for me, a lot of times, like I said, that usually ends up happening on a weekend. And I will sit there while I'm just on the couch, maybe binge watching Schitt's Creek for the 5,000th time, whatever it is. And I will just sit there and I will edit some reels. And instead of just posting them all, I will actually schedule them to post throughout the week. So it gives me content to post throughout the week. So again, I'm not sitting on my phone all week long when I'm busy at work, coming home, doing other things, making dinner, cleaning the house, the laundry, all the stuff, right? I'm able to manage my time that way. So the same thing when it comes to posts, right? You can do the same thing. Schedule those posts out. So when you do have a chunk of time, you can get a lot of that social media posting done. Done. You can do it in your VIP group. You can do it on your business page. You can do it on your personal page. You can do it on Instagram, okay? These are all of the things. Now, some of the things, and here's some tips that I have for those of you who maybe are on Pinterest, or maybe you've started a YouTube channel, okay? Or Snapchat even, TikTok even, this could work for that as well, okay? What I will do, because I have a lot of content specifically out on like Pinterest and on YouTube, right? I've got a lot of content on those platforms because I've just used it a lot over the years. But you don't have to have a whole lot to use these tips. So throughout the week, like today, for example, right? I was at the end of my lunch break. I'd gotten some studying done. I wasn't eating lunch with anybody today. So I was able to sit down and I pulled up my phone and I checked my emails real quick. Okay, check my emails. And I was like, oh, I'm going to hop on Pinterest real quick. So I opened up Pinterest and I went to my pens that I've saved for Scentsy, right? And I've just gone through and I repenned them. Or I added a comment, or I edited it, right, in some shape or form. Because what happened when I did that is it then bumped it into the algorithm into Pinterest. When I got home, I checked my Pinterest. I opened it up because I saw the app open like in the background, right? And I was closing all my apps. I was like, oh yeah, I did Pinterest at the end of my lunch break. And so I clicked on Pinterest and I've got like 10 messages sitting on my Pinterest. Now, could it be coincidental? Sure, probably, maybe, I don't know. But I spent time on the app. I reposted content that I've posted before. I bumped it up, or I put a comment on it, or I edited what I already had in there. And what that did is it pushed it out to the audience again today. You can do the same thing if you've got a YouTube channel, if you're on TikTok, right? Repost it. Repost the content that you've done. If you've done a reel on Instagram and now you're like, oh, I've done things before on Instagram and Facebook, but I want to start growing on TikTok. Well, hello, go through and grab your content that you've already created on those other platforms and put it into TikTok in this example, right? So you can utilize your content from platform to platform to platform. What that's going to do is, for one, that means you don't have to sit here and create content for all these different apps, right? But for two, it's going to save you a lot of time. And for three, it's just going to help increase your exposure on social media. And let's be honest, y'all, that's what we really want, is the exposure on social media. Because that's why we use social media. Look at me, look at me, look at me, right? That's what we're using social media to do. It's to draw attention, in this case, to our businesses, right? To what we're doing, to what we have available. We're trying to reach new customers. We're trying to connect with the customers we have. And also being able to do this on a weekly, regular basis is going to show your audience that you are engaged in your business. This is a tough pill for some consultants to swallow. They will get on hot and heavy on social media, right? And they'll be posting, and they'll be doing Facebook parties or whatever, and doing all these things. And then maybe they've kind of put their business to the side for a while. And now they're like, okay, I'm ready to pick my business back up. All right, I'm ready to start doing this thing again. And they're like, well, wait a minute. I'm reaching out to people and it's crickets right now. Well, that's because your audience that you had didn't see you, even though maybe you were. Maybe you were doing big things, right? But you weren't showing it on social media, so that social media audience didn't see it. Therefore, it didn't happen, right? So when I'm at work, we like to talk about that a lot, right? We say if we don't document it, it didn't happen, right? Even though I know I did something, if I didn't document it, if I didn't notate it, it didn't happen. Kind of the same thing when it comes to social media, right? If you're not being consistent on social media, your audience, your followers will start to think, oh, they must not do that thing anymore. And they're probably going to start to follow somebody else who is being consistent. And so then when you go back to follow up, what's happened? They either have moved on to something else, or they have found someone else that they're currently using for their Scentsy consultant. It's, again, it's a hard pill to swallow. I know it is. And I will tell you guys that consistency is what pays off in the end. Consistency is what has helped me build my customer base. Being consistent in what I do, which is why, and I talk to you guys a lot about this, right? About having a theme to every day of the week, right? I showed you guys from my binder system. In fact, I shared this on my video, I don't know. In October, how I was working my business, right? I shared this, okay? A checklist. Every single day of the week has a different theme to it. And that's because A, I'm not online all the time. B, it keeps me consistent. Because even if I only have 5 or 10 minutes at the end of a crazy hectic day, then what am I doing? Oh, well, today is Tuesday, so for me that means like team day, or maybe today is Friday, so that means follow-up Friday. Okay, maybe I should do a couple follow-ups. I've got like 10 minutes, or it's the end of the crazy day, right? And I just got the kids to sleep. Let me just shoot out a few quick texts or emails. It will give you a purpose in your business, and it will help you to become consistent. Building a habit, science has told us, it's been proven, whatever, that it takes 21 days of doing something consistently to form a habit. So for me, because I have been doing it for so long and I have my days, they've kind of been set for a while, right? A checklist for me has kind of been set in stone for a while. That for me, it's just automatic. I already kind of know what I'm doing. So until you get to that point, use a checklist. Use the checklist. I'll reshare it on this video as well, but it's a Canva template, so you can go in there. You can change it if it doesn't work for you. If you're like, no, on Saturdays and Sundays, those are my day for my family, I don't do anything. That's fine too, right? Just pick and choose your other days of the week. Again, remember, build your life, or your Scentsy into your life, okay? Build Scentsy into what you already have going on. If Mondays are a crazy hectic day for you and the kids and the family and whatever, then plan for that. Plan for that and say, okay, Mondays are just out. They're just out, right? So I'm going to focus on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, because those are the days that I know I'm probably going to have a little bit of extra time, or it's not as hectic, whatever, right? And I know I can get some stuff done. So you're going to have to squeeze some things into those 3 or 4 days, right? Okay, you know the legs of success, right? That Chloe Cox has taught us over the years, okay? Sponsoring, sales, and retention. And that retention is like that training piece, right? Because we have to continue that cycle. We have to be working with our customers and with our team. And if we're doing that consistently, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen. You're going to start getting those repeat customers. You're going to start seeing that your team members Oh, they're noticing that you're showing up to things now. They're noticing that you're, post, if you've got a group page, whatever it is that you do, right? Maybe you have a team chat with you and the people on your team, even if it's just one person. You guys can do this. And if we really are intentional, then here is the big light bulb moment for you. You do not have to be on social media all the time. You don't. I am not. I am not. When I am at home, I like to be able to get my work done in the office. I like to be able to relax and enjoy time with my husband, with my youngest, go see my grandbaby, right? I like to do all of these things. That's what keeps me me. It keeps me sane, right? I have a lot going on. So I don't want to be tied to my phone all the time. So being intentional with that time that I have and scheduling things out is going to help you a lot on that social media piece. Because like I said, that's really the biggest thing that I see from consultants is they will say, yeah, but I don't have time to keep up on it. Then you schedule it. Simple as that. You can simply schedule it. Now, if you're on a desktop, it's much easier. You can go into like the Meta Business Suite. You can plan out the whole darn calendar for the month, right? You can do all of those things. And maybe that takes you 2-3 hours to do it. Okay, then you take 2 or 3 hours, one time a month, get it done, and then you can set it and forget it, right? And then you can just go back and reply and be social to the people who are commenting or messaging or liking or whatever on those posts. Sharing what you're doing in your business, even if you feel that it's something that nobody wants to see, I want you to do it. I want to encourage you guys to start working yourself up to at least 3 times a week. 3 times a week. Be sharing something that is about what you do with Scentsy. Changing your wax, putting a new scent circle in the car, putting together the fragrance flower that you just got, making some samples, getting ready to mail out some happy mail, typing up an email, right? You can find different ways to show a cute little video or a quick little snippet of how you're doing something and share it, even if it's just a picture. And then you talk about how you're doing it. These are the ways that your customers and your team members are going to see you working. And that's really, at the end of the day, what you're really aiming to do. So if you can really work yourself up to 3 times a week, even if you need to schedule it, right? Write it down in your planner. Write it down on your to-do list, whatever it looks like. I keep to-do lists. Don't think that I do not, because I do. I keep a to-do list. I have my planner. I have it all there. I've got my binder system, right? I have everything there because I'm not always using one thing or another. So in order to spread yourself out, you can organize yourself. And let me tell you, once you get into that groove of kind of scheduling things out, setting a theme to a day, you're going to feel more in control in your business. Because it's going to be off of your shoulders. It's not something that you have to stress about. Oh man, did I post this? Did I even say anything about what was releasing this week? Like, I don't know. I don't remember. You don't have to be chasing your tail the whole time. When I really started to understand that, that's when the whole business model changed for me. I was like, oh, wish I would have done this a long time ago, because I truly was just chasing my tail all the time. Like, how do these people have all this time to do this? And that was before you could even do half of this stuff, right? Like, there was apps back when I was trying to figure all this out. It's a lot easier for us now. And let me tell you, like I said, the one big time saver of what I have with my content is repurposing my own content. You can remix yourself, right? You can remix yourself. It's you. You own it. You shot it. It's you. Utilize the content that you have. Is it great to look for new things to share? Of course. But if you don't necessarily have something new to share, but you still want to maybe get those 3 things a week done, then look back through your phone or look back through your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever, your TikTok, and say, what have I posted before? Maybe if you've got TikTok, right, you can always go back. I love doing the remix on the TikTok, right? So going back on my own TikTok and remixing my own TikTok, where I'm either like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I had never worn that scent before. And let me tell you, now it's one of my absolute favorite scents, right? Just like a little voiceover even on top of my own personal video that I shot forever ago. These are really quick and easy ways to get that content out. And remember, we have to be social on social media. So we need to be doing that follow-up on the social media piece. So once you've scheduled it out, like I said, that's going to free up your time during the week, even if it's a minute here, a minute there, because trust me, that's how my life works, right? To be able to go back and respond and to acknowledge and to say, oh, thank you so much. I love that warmer too, whatever it is. So that's what we're going to focus on as we finish out October. We're going to focus on putting these things into more of like a scheduled plan, okay? We're really going to try and be consistent in what we're doing in our business. So if you haven't yet, or if this is the first time that you're hearing about this, then I'm going to encourage you to sit down for like 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes and just say, okay, these are the days of the week that I'm able to touch my business, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes a day. That's it. Even if that's all you have, okay? These are the days, and I want to make sure that I'm touching on all the parts of my business. And the main parts of our business are what? Sales, sponsoring, and retention. Sales, sponsoring, retention. Sales, sponsoring, retention. Okay, those are the things that we want to get into the habit of. So those are the things we need to look for. How can I do these things? And once you start to get those things consistently done, it's really going to allow you more time to not only be more creative, but to find more time in your business. Because even though it may seem like you are just like, oh, I can't fit anything more in, let me tell you, from somebody who is a busy person, you can do this. You can do this. All right, so if you guys have done this, I would love to hear from you. So drop me a little comment, drop me a note. Let me know what made a big difference for you, or if you feel comfortable sharing what your 3 things are that you're going to focus on each week. All right. Okay, guys, that's what I've got for you this week. Let's get social. And it's the middle of the month, y'all. So you know that I've got some lovely mid-month shout outs to do. So, all right, I will talk to you soon. Bye.